Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chasse. Today I'm going to bring another video about what's going on in the macro space. Trump is back and bigger than ever. This has been absolutely insane. I'm going to tell you what's going on with Trump and how this can affect things, as well as what the hell happened to Pepe. Is Pepe a rug, or is this potentially a 100x buying opportunity? I'll get into that as well. And of course, we got OnlyFans girls showing up in droves on FriendTech, and what my opinion is about FriendTech, the OnlyFans girls, and what the evolution of FriendTech might be. Am I bullish or bearish or somewhere in between? All right, guys, let's get into the alpha today. As well, I will link in the description below an airdrop link spreadsheet so you can get a head start. I'm going to make a video very soon on airdrops, how to farm them, some new tools that are coming in the market. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because you do not want to miss that one. It's going to be awesome. But let's get into the video today. Talk about first the macro markets and what's going on. So we have the Dow Jones and S&P down quite a bit. The Dow Jones fell almost 400 points, and this is all in anticipation of this Jackson Hole meeting that's happening with Mr. Jerome Powell, as he spends a couple days in Jackson Hole, hanging out, having fancy dinner, talking to central bankers about what's going on with the economy and what to expect. So obviously, speculators are anticipating that this meeting, there's going to be some foresight of the economy not looking so good. That's why we see this pullback in the market. I know that 1% might not seem like a lot for us, those of us in crypto. That happens every day. That's a small market movement. In the normal stock market, that's a pretty big movement. So the most important thing from this article is just investors will parse his highly anticipated speech for clues on the outlook of interest rates, which the Fed in July lifted to a range of 5.25 to 5.5, the highest level in 22 years. Now, one thing I want to show you guys is this is pretty crazy. So Zillow is offering home loans for as little as 1% down payment. Now, this is absolutely insane. This reminds me of my time after, after high school, when we were able to go out and get, I at one point in my early entrepreneur days, I had 5 properties, and and I was serving tables at a restaurant, and it just, you were not, I should never have even had one property. I couldn't afford it, right? And this is what happened with a lot of Americans with the subprime mortgage meltdown. And now this is so crazy. How can you afford a house if you do 1% down? I mean, sure, that's a good way to actual leverage your money if you think it's going to appreciate. But the fact is that most people will try to take advantage of this, buy themselves a house, and in their delusional mind, they will think that somehow they can actually pay this thing off over time. It is not a good sign of things to come. Even further, to drive home my point, you can see that here there was a company called Better.com that went public yesterday on the stock market via a SPAC. And that's just where when one acquire, it's basically like a special purpose acquisition company where one company acquires another company, and then it can go public because of that. And after this happened, Better.com dropped 93%, basically almost a damn near rug pull. Of course, it wasn't a rug pull, publicly traded company, but this shows you that the markets are incredibly skeptical about anything happening in the mortgage and real estate market. Things are not looking good. This market cap went from $4 billion down to 400 million in just one day. All right, Donald Trump is back. He got arrested, and right after he got arrested, he made his, and this is after he did his interview with Tucker Carlson, landing so far 251.3 million views. And we'll get into some of this in just a second. I actually love the comments. I'll show you. It's hilarious. But this is his first tweet back on X. So Trump is back on X, and you can see that if you come down here, Elon. Oh, this is not Elon, but here Elon says the real Elon, next level. So he's also following Donald Trump. Welcome back, Trump. And pretty hilarious way to come back to Twitter, showing a mean mug. That's definition of a mean mug for sure. And that's funny. If you guys aren't American, it's an expression in America, mean mugging. And that is literally the definition of a mean mug right there. So I watched this interview. It was just a lot of calling out people, but you would never, it's great that Elon gives us X, which has freedom of speech and allows things, as you can see, Elon says here, interesting to hear things directly versus through media filter. Now, just for shits and giggles here, I want to show you guys some of these hilarious comments in the comment section. You can see that there was a GOP debate. For those of you who aren't aware, there was a Republican debate, and nobody cared because, well, as Trump says in his interview, he is just so far ahead in the polls of anybody else. He just doesn't care, right? Why would he? In the interview, if you haven't watched it, says, "Why would I go participate with all these people who are just going to spam me with all these horrible questions, and it's going to be retarded?" And all of these other guys who are even running don't even stand a chance against him. So why waste his time? And this comment sums it up perfectly. He got way more attention, and you can see as we just scroll down here, there's just a huge amount of, this is great too, how to actually fix the system. Yeah, throw all these criminals in jail. The FBI, when a Democrat is involved, right, not looking blind, but when Trump does anything even remotely, it's a big deal. So look at this. This is from Tara Bull. She ran a poll. There's been 23,000 votes so far. 87.4% say they're going to vote for Trump, right? 84%. So, and then you have just all of these comments that just people are just loving him. And this is Fox News is not the joke because the joke is not in on the joke because they are the joke. Oh, Foxy made a horribly let Tucker go. It was a big mistake. You could see they just like all of this indictments and these people they're trying to interfere with the election. They powers that be are clearly trying to prevent Trump from becoming president, right? And the more that they do this, the more it enrages the American people. And even if they weren't pro-Trump before, now they're looking at this and being like, what the hell is going on? This is as corrupt as it possibly could be. And it's making people that would have never voted for Trump before more likely to vote for Trump. This is literally like when the first time Trump, well, actually, when it was Trump and Biden last year, as an American myself, I've never voted. Right? I've never voted before because I think that it's such a rigged process, right? And also, growing up in California, it was a Democratic Party, and it's always votes blue. And so even if I show up, I spend 3 or 4 hours in the sun with a bunch of really old people who are collecting my ballot, and I waste my time, and I get this stupid sticker that says I voted, and I go post it on my Instagram and my social media. I didn't care, right? But when I saw about 4 years ago, the way the media was portraying the run and the election with Trump versus Biden, every single major media outlet was extremely pro-Biden and everything was very anti-Trump. And I'm telling you, I didn't really care before, right? I don't live in America anymore. I don't really care too much what's going on with the politics there. But just because of this enormous, blatant attempt by the mainstream media to push their bias onto their viewers, it made me much more inclined to be interested in seeing Trump win, strictly because it was clearly the guy that the people controlling the media and the narrative and the propaganda, they didn't want him to be in office. And to me, that says disruption. That says someone's trying to do something very innovative and actually make a change. Now, I don't have a strong opinion one way or another on Trump or whatever. Again, I've said that I really like RFK or maybe Vivek, but It doesn't seem like they're going to stand a chance. It seems like the two front runners that people will have to vote for, unfortunately, I don't know why there has to be one versus the other and there can't be many people, right? Once you go through the passive primaries, it really comes down to two people, and this will be Trump and probably Biden. So anyway, this is just really, really it's putting Trump so far ahead in the polls that it's just not even funny. Let's get back into moving along here. Imagine indicting, this is from Colin Rugg, imagine indicting Donald Trump 3 times, hyping the 4th indictment to be the best one yet. Finally getting to be able to get a mugshot of the former president, releasing the mugshot, and then Trump throws the mugshot in a fundraising email, comes back to X, and steals the whole show from you. Legendary energy shift. Yeah. So let's get into Pepe. Okay. So before we go to the chart, I bring something back to you guys. Let's look at what actually happened to Pepe, right? And I actually was one of the first people to drop this on my X. If you're not following me over there, go do it. Kyle_Chasse. I'll just show you right here. Because I'm dropping all kinds of alpha there all the time, right? Kyle_Chasse. And you can see that, that I was one of the first people to start talking about it yesterday. So if you want all the alpha, when it breaks, as soon as it's breaking, you want coverage on what happens with Jerome Powell's tweet or anything that's important to help you navigate the space, to help you navigate your portfolio, give you altcoin alpha. Make sure you're following me both on X and subscribed here on YouTube. So what really happened with Pepe? Their multi-sig, which is just a wallet that requires many people to sign to release funds from something or to do any action within a wallet. The threshold changed from 5 to 8 signatures required to 2 to 8. Now, no one really knows why so far, but from what I can tell, nobody really knows why this happened, but it did. And then you had all of these coins going to exchanges, right? So you had a bunch going to all the different exchanges. And what I want to point out here is that okay, so let's read this. A quick thread, what just happened to Pepe. 1 hour ago, the official Pepe team wallets transferred 62% of their Pepe, 16 trillion to Binance. And actually, there's more. There is more than just Binance. I don't have the other tweet pulled up. I don't know where it is at the moment, but let's see. I think it's probably. Anyway, I'll show you in a second. I know what it is. So the team still has another 10.7 trillion Pepe, $10.5 million they can sell, which is 2.5% of the remaining supply. The official website stated that 6.9% of the total supply would stay locked, and this change in policy was not pre-announced. And Cryptonaughty is claiming the safe threshold, which we already talked about. So this is what I want to talk about the most. Is, in my opinion, we really need self-regulation, right? Something that we've been building at Master Ventures that I really want to get to market is something that would prevent this, right? If the publicly stated token economics say 6.9% of the total supply would stay locked, and now there's only 2.5% of the supply remaining, what the hell is going on? This is a lack of transparency. This is unilateral decision-making. This is a rampant abuse of the trust of public, and shame on the founders and developers for doing this. Now, one thing that we do know, and this is an interesting point I want to make here, is you can see that Pepe is now sitting at something, I think, like around a $360 million market cap or something. This is damn near the lowest it's ever been right here, right? So you can see this red wick down. It is essentially sitting at all-time lows right now. Now, we had Floki Inu, who got rugged 3 times and still went into the billion-dollar market cap, right? Multi-billion-dollar market cap. We also think about the fact that if the team is out and they sell all their tokens, and then we have 100, I'm actually interested in seeing something where 100% of these tokens are released, right? Why not? And yes, the founders of Pepe were doxxed, and we know who they are. And I'm not advocating this here. I'm just throwing out theory right now. Do we really care that the team maintains control over this meme coin, right? Decentralize it, make it fully vested, and for those of you who don't know, within the big run up for Pepe, I got into Pepe down here. All right, somewhere down here. Let me show you guys. Somewhere down here, around 130 million, and it went up to 1.6 or 7 billion. And then when it started coming back down, I sold it at like 1.1 billion or something like that, right? But the reason why I got into it in the first place, what I was really excited about was the community, right? And when I went to the website the first time, they weren't wrong. They said Pepe is the #1 meme in the world. To verify, I went to ChatGPT and said, hey, what is the biggest meme in the world? It is Pepe. So if you believe that meme coins and memes have value and can have community, and we know that Pepe memes are crazy, maybe this is a good buying opportunity, right? Maybe. And if you look at, I didn't go to Dogecoin because Dogecoin has Elon behind it, and I just think that that's so powerful. But if you look at SHIB, right? And this is before they started building Shibverse and Shibarium and all this stuff and these Bone, and this was just in a bull market, meme coin hype, a lot of people excited about the comedic value of a meme, and this went to $40 billion. That's 100x higher than where Pepe currently is. So all I'm saying is don't ape all your money into this right now, but maybe it's worth a punt, and really to be following also over the next few days, because I don't expect this thing to skyrocket back up into $1 billion valuation anytime soon. But let's continue to watch this together and see what happens, and we can make an assessment, on whether it might be interested to come back in. I'm very curious right now, and I might dollar cost average into this right now very cautiously. It could rug completely. People could lose faith, get turned off. But remember what happened with things when people lose a lot of money in something that's very viral. Think about Luna, right? When Luna crashed, we all knew it was just a fucking Ponzi scheme, right? But so many people were hurt by it, and they refused to take their L's. And so what did they do? They rallied behind it. Even Binance and CZ got involved, said we're going to burn, and they're still doing it, right? And so you have a lot of people right now that are holding bags, and they want to see their thing pump. So you have a big viral community, and they might get behind this. So if the team gets out, fine, get them out. Whatever, let them sell everything, get all the sell pressure out of the way. I'm not telling you what to do here. I'm not suggesting that you ape into this. I just think it's very, very interesting. Okay, let's get over to this FriendTech stuff. I just want to wrap up with this real quick. So FriendTech has now enabled pictures to come into here, and you see all of these. These OnlyFans chicks, basically coming into FriendTech in droves, right? Just a lot. And this started back in the day with IreneDAO and SimpDAO. And this simp is just a word where basically guys are going and worshiping these e-chicks with their money, right? And this girl was the first one, Jen Fox, I believe, to come into FriendTech. And she made a lot of money on the secondary market fees, on the fees that were traded from her account. And I think that's my opinion right now on why all of these other e-chicks are coming in, because they saw this girl make a lot of money in like one thing like this, right? And you have these sniper bots that are just sniping these e-chick accounts, and there's even an e-chick index right now. And this all feels very BitClout to me. This, you can see all these OnlyFans girls coming in. It feels very, very BitClout to me, right? It feels very BitClout to me. So, maybe these girls are coming in, and so far yet I have never used OnlyFans. I don't know how it works so much. Patreon is another one. But right now, if someone can tell me in the comments, what is the difference between Patreon and OnlyFans and FriendTech? The problems that I see with FriendTech right now, and the curious thing is how does it evolve? So I see that the bonding curve is too high and it costs too much. So even, why are these guys willing to pay so much money to get into this very exclusive community? Because, by the time that this person, that one of these girls sells 75 of her shares or her keys are sold, it becomes very, very expensive for someone to get into that, right? They can get like they can get like 2 years worth of like 10 Only Girls fans accounts or something like that for just one share of one of these expensive, it's expensive now e-chicks on OnlyFans, or sorry, on FriendTech. But can FriendTech, will they fix the bonding curve? Will they implement video? I'm sure they will. And will they find a sweet spot to make this a unique product that is different than OnlyFans, that is different than Patreon? That is a question that I'm curious to find out. Right now, I am sitting on the sidelines. I think that for right now, this is a huge speculation game. And if you're working with a sniper bot, like I talked about on yesterday's show, maybe you can make some money on it. And maybe this thing blows up, but maybe it's a fad. I don't know. I also don't see a huge difference between this and BitClout, but it really feels familiar. And yeah, the ecosystem's growing. There's a lot of volume. The same thing happened with BitClout, right? It's very, very, very difficult to attack that network effect that social media platforms have. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.